everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we've got an exciting matchup on tap. It's the Jaguars coming in at 11-4, going up against the Broncos, who come in at 8-7.
Larry, the fans in teal and black are ready to lock down the bank as you get a look inside Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. First carry for Leonard Fournette. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And the D looking like they may blitz.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Bang, bang.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Shane Ray. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now Anderson fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Looking deep for Demaryius. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your number one path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Shane Ray. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down. 180. 40 got. Check.
On first and 10, Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Second down now after the incompletion. Throwing again. Stafford. He spots Henderson open left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one, and let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Third down and 1. Following the penalty, Anderson. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Here's Stafford. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. To throw on third down, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Steps away. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw here. They'll look up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Right there at the 43. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Defense showing blitz.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Every year I go to the combine, I marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. And they've got it here with a first down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll give Fournette another crack. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaquille Barrett able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. And Myers able to knock it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they've wanted to.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Slot man moves right. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Stay 50. Check 26.
Now Stafford. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's going to take a shot, and this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Hey. You got 4. Now let's go.
Looking to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Sack, baby. Sack.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Now back to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Runs over him. Breaks the tackle. Now an alley. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A big chunk on the ground there. 27 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle. But if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed. Plenty of open field to get after that.
He goes underneath for Anderson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. 10th carry now for Anderson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 3rd and 2, Stafford. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The tight end in motion right.
Big 20, big 20.
They'll run. Anderson. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Cliff Averill in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100, and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Out of the gun, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And McManus able to put it through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Jags. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now Leonard Fournette. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Looking long for Westbrook. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Brad Nordman now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here, as this is toward the sideline. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Big 20, big 50,
They start the drive with Anderson. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
From his end zone, Stafford on 3rd and long. And this one is incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is taken at the 10. An unbelievable punt there. We're talking 70-plus yards. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Now let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now Stafford. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run with Booker. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
They can't see us. Monday.
Now it's Stafford. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Fournette running right. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Flushed out right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Allen Robinson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll try to fire up the... And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, Anderson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd and 2, Stafford. The Sanders has got it complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get...
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. It came underneath on the drag. completed it very well.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. In motion left goes a tight end. Booker on first down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A.J. Derby with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by one more. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. See if they stay on the ground for second down. He'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7th. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Second down following the run. Throwing is Stafford. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Watch tight, watch tight. Tight here right, tight here right. Set, red 80, Omaha, ready to move.
Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Anderson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. 6 conversions in 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5.
Drill right, 22, 280, easy.
Stafford. Sanders has it over the middle. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Right. He's tight right here. Tight over the right.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Back to the ground, Anderson. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and...
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And all the way down to the 26. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 42 yards on the ground. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off at the 39. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They run again on first down. Anderson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
Feels right. Set. Blue 60.
Stafford going to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. A dump off to Anderson. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Here's Stafford. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. On the give, this is their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Throwing here, Stafford. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for a gain of 31. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, Blair.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Single. Omaha, ready to move. I got it. He's mine. Let it go here. Oh, he's defense close. Tag 50. He's going 32. Double up. 20 high.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. Demaryius Thomas, guy who knows a thing or two about overtime. You remember the wild card round against the Steelers back in 2012. Took an 80-yard pass on the first play to win that game.
And that was a good Steelers secondary, so you know his ability to catch the ball, and then what he creates after the ball's in his hands, wow, he's absolutely sensational. Take him all the way back to Georgia Tech when everyone knew he was the primary receiver, yet he still caught big passes.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.